Hey everyone, just out at the farm here, messing around there, getting some things caught up. I guess weekend kind of deal, but Brianna and I come for a walk out back, and I figured she was dry enough to get up onto, which is quite rare for this time of the year for us. So I figured if I tore it up a little bit, then give it a chance to dry, right? So all my ground isn't like this, believe me, but I do have some higher ground that's you can get on a little earlier. So it's got to be tore up because I need to be able to rock rake it and then run the rock pickers through. So still a little bit wet up here. It always is wet up there. Well, not always, it dries out, but it's kind of like one of the last ones to dry out, right? But so we thought we'd rig up the old 1690, a little Brilliant Harrow. Actually, I really like this harrow. It's just the right size. You can kind of hook it to any kind of little tractor, and away you go. And it's trailing. I have a big S-tine one. I don't know, it's 20 feet or whatever, but I mean, I'm just trying to loosen it up just enough to get the air through it. And we get a couple days of sunshine, which we're supposed to have like a week of it, then I should be rock raking here next week. So just do a quick pass around and kind of break it up some. But now, this few years ago, I had a video, I rock raked and picked this field then. It's better now, but still all these rocks are just a nuisance, right? So yeah, it's got to be done again. You almost need to go through, and if you have the time, and rock rake and harrow out a few different times, right? But yeah, so I guess last fall I had some dozing videos, and I guess I showed the videos of taking these rock walls out and windrows. So this field down in here, I can get on that, other than you can see where the water lays up in there. That dries out pretty quick once we get a little more sunshine. There was still quite some snow there just a couple days ago. So I didn't get this one. I ended up putting chicken manure on all of it, other than what you see harrowed up. But this one here I didn't, so I may just leave this one, pasture the cows out onto it. But yeah, I mean, it's drying out pretty quick. But this is like one of my driest farms that I do, so I'm able to get out here working early. It's driest, but it's the rockiest, right? As you can see, when they homesteaded all these old places, these were the rock walls here, right? And one down there and there, so they were kind of like, they had 2-acre fields here. That's a 5-acre field down there. So I opened them up to make, well, almost 10 acres this one is altogether. So not great, not what a lot of guys are used to, but you can see the huge rocks, boulders way down in there. I mean, these were they cleared all this by hand, you know, a couple hundred years ago, which is mind-boggling. But and here I am clearing it all again. So, of course, like I said in other videos, this was all woods when I come here and cut the wood, and I've been at it since, oh, probably 04-ish, probably. I started clearing, 03, 04, 02, I don't know, something like that. And yeah, I think about 04 when I started. And then you know, you just keep clearing as you can, right? So I mean, it's all cleared way down and through. And then now I'm at the point that I'm trying to take some of these rock walls out, which is very expensive and time consuming. But yeah, well, I didn't get at this one. I wish I would have. This one's rough, but I put hemp manure on all these ones, so I may just let the grass come up. And I can't tear it all up, but I need some for the cows, right? So all this ground, I mean, I've always pastured, just pastured. I'm trying to get it where I get so much ground, I don't need all the pasture. I like to be able to cut feed off it, right? So that's why we're trying to make things bigger. But yeah, so this one here, I could harrow this one up right here now. And down there is going to be wet, I know that. But you just pick and choose, pick a few acres here and there, and then harrow them out, and then get it so you can at least get the land leveler and the rock rake through, right? So, but anyways, yeah. I don't know if it was a wise decision to spend your life doing this, but I do like land clearing. It's kind of nice. You take a place that's just nothing but mess, like woods, like in there, and then you clear that out. But it's funny how that there, I'm not sure, but that's where they haul a lot of the rocks. Eventually I'll get into that, but in clearing it, but right now it's not worth it. So I just kind of pick the easier places, and then the harder places we'll come back to later on. Right? So anyway, at least we're breaking ground. It's really early for here, but it always is that way. You could get out here, and if you go out back further, it's even drier, but the problem was just getting to it, right? So I made it easier where I have a road going across the top of here, so I can get out back. Before, you used to have to go down, you had to always go through that wet hole. And you know, they say it stays wet there this time of year, but then it dries out, and then it's pretty good going ground, right? So yeah, hard to believe that was a windrow the whole length of that field, and I spread that out last year, so you keep most of your nutrients all there. And then Dad was up, and he run my Egco and did some chiseling for me, which is a big help. He run rock picker last fall, so I'm hoping we can kind of keep the same momentum this year and get a little bit of help. And if I can get even on the rock, if I run the rock rake and get him on one rock picker, I mean that's a big help, right? So anyways, but I'm going to convert my Schulte rock picker to hydraulic drive, and then if I can find someone to put on that this spring, and have, you know, one rock rake going and then two rock pickers to keep up to it, then we should be able to cover some ground. So anyway, getting pretty anxious, at least getting started. Mind you, you know, not saying